We live under his roof, so we need to behave as such. Hello everyone, my name is Marquita, but you can call me Q. This is a faith-based channel. I'm here to help you grow in your faith and get closer to God through biblical understanding and application. Today, I'm going to be talking about what does the Lord require of you. It's going to be coming out of Deuteronomy 10, 12 to 13. Here it tells us what the Lord requires of us. This is when Moses is speaking to the Hebrew Israelites. He's telling them what the Lord requires of you. And this still stands true to this day, what the Lord requires of us. So Deuteronomy 10, 12 to 13. And now Israel, what does the Lord your God require of you? But to fear the Lord your God, to walk in all his ways, to love him, to serve the Lord your God with all your heart and your soul, and to keep the commandments and statutes of the Lord, which I am commanding you today for your good. Here in Deuteronomy, you can find instructions given to Moses by God. Moses prophetically gives the people of Israel the requirements and expectations from God of the Israelites. So from God to the believers now. Today, believers are the Israelites. It's believers. And the Lord still has expectations of us. This is a relationship. It is not a one-way street. It is a two-way street. The Lord still expects things of us. So what does the Lord, your God, require of you? So one is fear of the Lord. What is fear of the Lord? It's respect, it's reverence, it's honor, it's praise, it's being in awe of him, having a reverent fear of him, knowing his characteristics and who he is. You need to serve the Lord with fear and trembling, to respect him enough to follow his laws, to respect him enough to be a member of his household and follow the rules he has set in place for his kingdom. Fear of the Lord is loving him above all. He is the one and living God. You shall have no idols before him. You should be exalting him above everything in your life. There should be nothing too good or too big to give God. That is fear of the Lord. Knowing who he is, respecting him in every aspect of who he is. I also did a video on fear of the Lord that I will post in the description down below. Number 2 is walk in his ways. That means keeping his commandments, keeping the rules for his households, keeping the laws of his kingdom. Okay, the 10 commandments were not done away with. People get that so confused. Jesus Christ came to set in the new covenant, but he did not give away the commandments of Moses. Jesus Christ himself states the commandments over and over. He tells people to love the God above all and to love thy neighbors. These are part of the 10 commandments. The 10 commandments didn't go nowhere. We need to keep the laws of God's kingdom, the 10 commandments. We need to keep these laws. We need to be living in a Christ-like way and being obedient to the precepts that God gave us and walk in his ways. Living a Christ-like life, being obedient to the instructions God has given us individually for our lives, whatever that may be, because everyone's walk and journey and purpose here on this earth is different. We need to walk in his ways and be obedient to him. Number 3 is to love him. Love him above all. Exalt him above all. He is the one and only living God. There should be no idols before him. There should be no things you place before him. You should never be too busy to be with God. You can be with God always. Pray continuously. Love him in spirit and truth. True believers will worship him in spirit and truth. To love him always. It is a heart posture, okay? What is your heart posture towards God? Do you truly love God? Love him above all else. Number 4 is to serve the Lord with all your heart and soul. Once again, true believers worship him in spirit and truth. This is having obedience, surrender, trust, and faith, and having no doubt in God. But to love him with all your heart and soul. Once again, heart posture, having a heart after God, wanting to accomplish his will, not your will, but his will be done here on earth. Giving him every piece of you. Not one piece do you hide from God, but it is your duty as a believer to be a living sacrifice unto the Lord. You should be sacrificed, giving your life to the Lord. And number 5 is to keep the commandments and statutes of the Lord. Here we see it again repeated. To live as a child of God, to follow the laws of his kingdom. He has rules, he has precepts, he has laws. They are in the Bible. As believers, we need to be following them. We live under his roof, so we need to behave as such. We can't continue to be a disobedient child. We need to get it together. We need to circumcise the foreskins of our heart. Circumcise the foreskin of your heart and be no longer stubborn towards God. These are for your good, not for his good, but for your good, to benefit you, to help you prosper in the kingdom of God. If you want the blessings of the Lord, if you want the promises of the Lord, if you want the inheritance, you need to follow what he says. These are for your good, for your benefit. Obedience to the Lord always benefits those who obey and follow his commandments. Always. These are to help you reach enjoyment in life and in the presence and shelter of God under his protection. We need to remember the things that the Lord requires of us and live them and do them, to fear him, to serve him, to love him, to keep his commandments. We need to know what the Lord requires of us, his expectations of us. And then we need to not only hear the word, but we need to do the word and start living our life in accordance to this if we want to see the fulfillment of God's will in our lives. So that's it. That's all for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Comment down below. I will do as the Lord requires of me, to let God know you have heard this word, and you will not only be a hearer of the word, but you will be a doer of the word. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, faithstepswithGod, for more inspiration and knowledge and wisdom and biblical truth. And remember to travel a road that requires faith. Bye.